Y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
You've got a fundraiser coming up. Why don't you tell us about that?
And so we're having our ninth annual charity basketball game. It's been a long journey, starting from Safford High School to even coming through the Xfinity Center and to the Royal Farms Arena, and now we're doing it at UMBC, trying to keep it as close to Baltimore as we can, because we recently announced that we're partnering with Baltimore Rec and Parks to run our programs to their center. So I feel like my retirement came at the perfect time and have an opportunity to really do more, not just interact and impact one child, but impact their siblings, impact their parents, and ultimately change one entire neighborhood and do our role in helping them create a better Baltimore. So we're extremely excited about it. It's always a bunch of guys that come back and support. We try to keep it as local as possible. But guys fly in, like Anquan Bolden always flies in from Florida, even though he's happily retired and enjoying the sunshine down there. Guys I played with in the past, when Cam Newton came up, he'll probably be there again this year, DJ Moore, a lot of guys that I play with, and obviously that's my Terp brother as well. So I'm always thankful whenever those guys come out to support. And it's at UMBC at 2 p.m. April 4th. It's free parking. It's always that's a big deal, man. I'm telling you, that'll keep me from going some places sometimes. But it's always a great family atmosphere. I mean, everyone's there from my daughter to my grandmother. And it's always special to see all the people that are there. And then ultimately, there's a lot of kids there. If you've ever been there or you ever come, you've seen it's a lot of kids. And a lot of kids are there because people donate tickets who haven't been there, who haven't made it. So we have a lot of great relationships with a lot of youth groups and other organizations, other centers in Baltimore City and the surrounding area. So people will donate online at torreysmith.org, and then all of a sudden you have a kid or a youth group that's able to come. So I love it, because I know when I see a bunch of kids, like a lot of people may not know it, but it's a part of that village kind of take care of each other, and you never know what it may mean to them to have the opportunity to see some of their guys, just run around. To us, it's fun playing ball, but to the kids, they love it, and you never know what type of impact it may make on them in their life.
Torrey, can you talk about what happened in your career that you have this great relationship with the city of Baltimore, and when did that start for you?
Yeah, for me, I think it started just being in Maryland. I tell everybody, I'm a Virginia boy, but I became a man in Maryland, through coming through College Park and just continuing my long trek up to 95 to Baltimore. My career, has kind of been in a little box in a sense, so it's the first, 8 years of it. And Baltimore kind of embraced me, and it was like deeper than football in a lot of ways, and I embraced the city as well when it came to just being involved in the community and trying to do my role in bettering it. Baltimore is a city where you see the harbor, you see a lot of the pretty things, but then also when you leave right outside of the harbor, there's some of the roughest neighborhoods that you'll see. And even within that, I see a lot of potential in the people and the potential in the city to do more and to be better. So I knew that we would come back. As much as we talked about what we do when we retire, my wife and I always knew that this would be the case, and to come back, because you can't be as involved as we were in what Baltimore was dealing with and doing our role in trying to better the community, and then just leave.
At what point did that hit you in your either college or pro career, where something said to you, when I make it, I need to give back?
I mean, that was just from day one, the way I grew up. I wouldn't have been here at the University of Maryland if it wasn't for my high school coaches and my counselors and other mentors that believed in me and gave me a helping hand. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Coach Tom Bratton, who I love to death. And you talk about somebody believing in you. I broke my leg my junior year. Almost all of them coaches stopped calling except for Coach Bratton. So I know he's probably doing his job, but at the same time, that's a guy a man who I give a lot of credit to for me being here. And ultimately, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been at Maryland. And Maryland's, had a major impact on my life through my education and beyond. Exposed me to so many different things being in this area. And being close to Baltimore, obviously the ties there. It's like I kind of never left, excuse me. And it's pretty special to know that my entire life has kind of been based around really the one decision to come to College Park, which Coach Tom Bratton and Freedom were a huge part of. So I'm grateful to them for that opportunity, and it made me realize the great potential in Maryland and the state, and I'm not leaving.
Do you miss playing, and how will you make the second act better than your first act? Sounds like you've got a pretty good head start.
Yeah, I feel like everything runs its course. I was able to watch games last year and not feel like I was missing out on anything. I was able to go to, probably about 4 Ravens games and enjoy Lamar Jackson destroying everybody. And more so than anything, I just looked and it was like, man, like I actually had the opportunity to do that. So I just more appreciated the opportunity than, felt like I missed it. I was missing out because I've always told myself, like, if my family or my long-term health was ever at jeopardy, then, I would call it quits before, I maybe even had to. And I kind of reached that point a little bit. I wasn't all the way there. I could have played, but, when you're dealing with the C word and cartilage thrown out there, you start thinking long-term. I see my 2 little boys right here, Torrey and Cam, and they're playing basketball now. And, I don't know how y'all feel about y'all and y'all kids, but I got to be able to beat these cats one-on-one till, they're seniors in high school or whatever. So I'm preparing for my next game, But when it comes to just retiring, I always knew that football had an end date. It's not a matter of if, but when, which is why, it's important to me to be the best student I could be here at the University of Maryland and continue to educate myself. I was able to receive my MBA from the University of Miami and just try to continue to do more. Because again, I understood it's not a matter of if, but when. And I learned that in high school when I broke my leg. I continue to try to do more and also try to tell others about that as well.
What's your relationship with Mike Loxley at this point?
Coach Loxley, he's like I'll say he's like a big brother to me. Another mentor, another person that I can talk to about anything. Y'all know I never played for him, right? I've never been on a team with Coach Loxley, and I love him and have a lot of respect for him, just like I do like the coaches that I play with. I think he's the perfect man for this job, and I think with time he's gonna have this place to where it's supposed to be and where it was. And so I'm looking forward to doing my part and trying to make sure that he has the support that he needs and knows that the players in the past back. Hey, Mr. Gus, the players in the past back him. And also, like, just try to, bring that old Maryland family vibe back. That's the one thing that, I felt like was kind of missing over the past couple of years. You're going to have years where, you may be down at talent or someone put a curse on your quarterbacks for years, right? Those things happen sometimes, but the one thing that was consistent when I was here, even when we were down that one year, it was still that family atmosphere, from the students to the athletes to the community and to all the people who support the program. So, I think you feel that coming back. I think there's a lot of pride in that. You saw that even though it was a tough loss versus Penn State. It felt like that old Maryland vibe playing for a big game again. So I'm looking forward to watching him build that up. And, Maryland's a unique job. And I say it all the time, I feel like he's perfect for it because it has to be someone who wants to be here and understands his culture and understands this area. Like, you're competing with so much. And there's a lot of talent here, but it's hard to keep them here. But who's the best man? Who's going to do a better job than a person who's from here, who understands it, who knows the coaches, who has a relationship? So you got to give him time, and I think he's going to do a great job.
Torrey, how's it feel to be on campus today supporting the men's basketball team, obviously on senior day at the end of a really stellar regular season?
Yeah, it's been amazing to watch them. Like I said, I've been more of a fan than ever this year. I had the opportunity to come to some games and watch the team. I actually had the opportunity to speak to the team a few weeks ago. And, just to see them battle, the journey, the ups and downs, and watch it all. I'm looking forward to see, hopefully we seal the deal today, but also just watch their journey and see how it all, unfolds in the end. But I love what Coach Church is doing. I love the culture they have. I love the belief they have in each other. And, you never know what's going to happen, but I'm looking forward to watching their journey.
Can you share what you told the team at all a couple of weeks ago?
Well, I don't know why they had me do this, but they wanted me to focus on social media, so and just dealing with the challenges of being an athlete when you're on the stage that they're on right now. They're playing in the championship game, it's a big deal. So you're gonna have highs and lows, right? You lose a game that could have had you outright. All of a sudden you're dealing with the fans, the other trolls or whoever maybe who have access to you. So I've experienced being on the person who's won games and being in a position where you feel like you've lost your team in the game. So I understand that. But that cell phone that we have that everyone's kind of addicted to, people have access to it. So just teaching them how to really balance it, telling them times where I wasn't the best, and where I fire some shots right back at somebody. But that's not the right thing to do. And to try to talk to them just about handling that, but also not letting that you know, anything outside of your locker room really determine how you feel. I mean, y'all have a job to do as the press. And sometimes, you know, as players, you may not want to see it, but on your Instagram, you get tagged in this, you know, like, hey, good job, you bum, or whatever it is. Like, you can act like it doesn't bother you, but it's important for them to know, like, hey, just stay focused. And sometimes you just have to put your phone down.
Speaking of the press, listening to you, why are you not on network TV?
I've been doing a little bit of media. I've done NFL Network a few times. I did ESPN a week or so ago. I'll be doing ESPN again at the end of the month. So we'll see how that works. We'll see how long they let me go before they kick me up out of there.
Torrey, what do you think about the XFL and the start that it's gotten off to?
I
And
love it.
the
I love
DC
the
team?
XFL. I love the fact that you can continue to watch football this time of the year. I love the fact that guys are getting a real chance. You're seeing some real talent, and guys that should have the opportunity to play at the next level, or get back up onto the next level. And I worked out with a bunch of the guys, or even played with a bunch of the guys that are in that league. So there's some quality talent. I think they can find. I think there's an opportunity for a league to find that little gap, you know. And I think they're doing a great job. I think it's fun to watch. I think interviewing players after big plays is very creative. You're gonna get some crazy reactions at some point, but I think they're doing a great job of managing it, and it's fun to watch.